Moani. Well, the Honolulu Zoo has a new director this morning, Manuel Maldonado, and Mayor Peter Carlisle introduced him at a news conference on Thursday. He takes over for Stephen Walker, who stepped down in February and previously headed the San Francisco and Los Angeles zoos. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
And congratulations on your new job. When's your first day?
It was this last Monday.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. I have to ask you, there's a bit of controversy from your past job at the San Francisco Zoo, and everyone knows about that tiger that mauled that teenager there, and then you resigned from that position about 6 months later after at the San Francisco Zoo. Why did you decide to resign?
Well, it was a very unfortunate situation that occurred there, and it was the first time that a tiger had actually killed a visitor in a zoo in the United States. It was a very traumatic situation, not only for me, for my entire staff, for the entire city of San Francisco. And 6 months really took a toll on me. After the 6 months was over, I, went home, stayed home for about a year, relaxed, got myself back together, and then made the decision that I really, missed the zoo world, and I really wanted to go back to the zoo world. You have to remember that exhibit that the tiger escaped out of was built in 1939, and for 60 years it had contained tigers, and it had been inspected by the USDA, which is the federal agency that inspects zoos. It had been inspected by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and nobody ever found any problems with that exhibit. It was, something motivated that tiger, and it just so happens that it was a very athletic tiger, and that she managed to get out. It was nobody's fault. Nobody left the gate open. Nobody left the lock unlocked. She came out of the front area to the shock of many people. And
also there was an issue with the fencing around that tiger enclosure, wasn't there?
Yes, the local newspaper made a statement that that we weren't following the national guidelines. Unfortunately, there aren't any national guidelines. If you were to go out today and do an investigation or do research, there are no national guidelines for the specific height of a fence. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums states that you're supposed to build exhibits that will contain the animals, but that's it. At the time, not only was our exhibit at that particular height, there were a number of exhibits in the United States. Oakland, right across the way, had their fence height exactly the same height as San Francisco, and they increased it after that.
You've been also credited with improving the financial situation of the San Francisco Zoo and increasing visitor attendance there to its highest level in 25 years. How will you do that to the Honolulu Zoo?
Well, I think we have a good base group of people coming that live here in Honolulu that visit the zoo. I think what we really need to do, though, is start promoting the zoo on Waikiki and getting the tourists in there. Tourists come to the zoo, but not in the numbers that I think should be arriving over there.
I just took a trip to the Honolulu Zoo with my son, and we had a great time together. And the beginning there, you can see that the entranceway and the visitor center is going to be really nice once it's all done. What other changes do you expect once you start really working there at the zoo?
Well, the next major exhibit that's under construction right now is the elephant exhibit. It is going to provide so much more space for these large pachyderms. It's the type of exhibit that I think the city and the island of Oahu is going to be very, very proud of. And it's one of those elephant exhibits that's being built here that can really stand alone and compete with mainland elephant exhibits. I think it's something that everybody's going to be very, very proud of.
Yeah, I had a chance to see the weigh-in at the elephant enclosure, and it was pretty impressive. So, Manuel Maldonado, thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me here today.
And good luck in your new job.
Well, thank you very much.
And stick around.